Now, nearly 2 years ago now, I made videos about Max Egan's Sydney to Santiago flight and the whole kerfuffle to do with this. And we discovered simulators involved, not so much in the Max Egan one, but in the other, which I feel is the same here as abraxas, because this has suddenly emerged after all that time, and I tell you what, it proves nothing. It's a takeoff from Sydney and a landing in Santiago, yeah, sure, but that's all. That's all you see. There's nobody, no gates shown, no talking to anybody else. It fully is like a little movie on this abraxas video here. And here's the Sydney one, and then a bit down the page is the arrival at Santiago 1 month ago. And then he's got a beauty down here somewhere about Qantas over Antarctica. Qantas over Antarctica. Again, real simulator looking. We'll have a quick look at this one first, actually. There's a boy pilot in it. Where's it coming on here now? There you go, boy pilot.
So there is due to be a changeover of
Simulator, I'm tipping.
next 10-15 minutes. It might have
Perfect, send them up.
Yeah, right.
Some muffled conversation that you can't understand. That's like any conversation through it. It's just a total fabrication again. Seems to be getting pretty perfect pictures here through windows on this alleged flight. I think we've got a lot of computer animation happening here. Well, I watched a painful 12:26 of this just to see if there was any identifying stuff, and none whatsoever. And even none of the hello everyone, welcome to Sydney, or Santiago in this case, to Sydney direct flight, you know, Qantas QF28, but no, listen to that, sounds like from the Love Boat, the person talking, welcoming, it just says welcome on board. I mean, very strange indeed.
Welcome aboard. Before we take off, we're going to give you an important safety briefing. So keep a sharp eye on the cabin crew or the screen in front of you, and together we'll make sure that your journey is a safe one.
Every aircraft is different, so it's important to pay attention even if you've flown with us before. Today you're flying on a Qantas Boeing 747.
There's a bit of gibberish, that's all. So no proof whatsoever that these flights took past, and still with this search you're getting no new stuff whatsoever at all. It's the same gibberish that we've been seeing, and still just relying on Max Egan other than that. Look, Sydney to downtown Santiago, Mr. Heli Dude. Here's another one. But again, it's just takeoffs. No proof whatsoever. I don't know about you, but this looks like it's a cartoon to me anyway. But Mr. Helitride, he doesn't have any real information either. Just a really glorious video. And look at the landing here, right? This looks like a computer game. Look at the tarmac. And then suddenly you're here. So much for any gate, and then you see sights of Santiago. And the production quality with the music and everything tells me that this is high-end level in a way for what it's supposed to be. And so this Helitude and Abraxas look like they go together to me. Oh, Helidude, sorry. Helitude, Helidude. So again, no real evidence in any of these things. The search, as I said, is showing that there isn't a flight, and then that has ramifications big time. So that's why this video will be trolled really badly. But truly, if there was a flight, people would have really properly videoed it by now. God, it's so long ago I'd forgotten about it. But, you know, it's just all this rubbish from abraxas. Look, abraxas, you know. The name of evil. Pretty quickly we're into Singapore Airlines. Admittedly, this is only in the last month's search. We'll have a look all time. Can't stand when I see that Max Egan's name written anywhere. And this one's a pet hate. It's a double 8 here, Max Egan with journalism. How's the Hampstead hoax going, Jerry? Still pushing that Hampstead hoax or what? But this here might hold some merit, except that it's a simulator anyway, so that's all we need to see. It was a simulator. Like Max Egan everywhere here to do with journalism. But flight past Antarctica, well, we just saw how fraudulent that is. Flight, this is an old one here 3 years ago, but again, just a takeoff. And it doesn't say it's a direct flight anyway. So I'll just dismiss that at this stage. We'll have a quick look, I suppose. It's the only thing, so there's nothing new anyway under the sun. It's 3 years ago one, I must have watched it before. Yeah, well that's all this one here is, a takeoff from Sydney for a flight to Santiago. The sound of the engines and takeoff. No welcome aboard, a direct flight from Sydney to Santiago, anything like that in any of these. No gates, just nothing new under the sun. So that's pretty bad for the people who think this flight exists. I don't care what you say, there would have been somebody who would have filmed it really well if it did exist, and in the time and done a really great job, but they can't if the flight doesn't exist, of course. You just got to rely on Max Egan fakery forever. Somebody else will pop up some other stupid thing. There's been a few other stupid bits and pieces, but one of them just relied on Max Egan totally, just used his footage. And that deception shows you. It's the same as the Stephen Hawking with the laser and the 3 people at a Scooby-Doo in the desert in Mexico somewhere. That fraud. So the more frauds that the media does to try and hide the other fraud, the worse it gets for them. But that's just interesting to watch, isn't it? And this comes into that basket. Just hasn't really been discovered yet. You know, but in its own way, look, 11,000 views, so it's 3 years. Some of those others have only had a few hundred views, so it's not a real topical thing at the moment, but that's for sure. It's a very important thing, and no one has been able to prove that this flight exists, and that is very, very telling indeed.